All right, let's get started. Feet are in parallel and just start rolling your shoulders. Good. Take a breath up and exhale. We're going to do that again. Really think about filling your air all the way down to your belly. Be mindful of your breath and exhale. And one more time. Up, big breath and exhale. Good. Bring your hands to your legs and let yourself just sink right into standing cow. Good. Think about looking up with your heart and your tailbone. Inhale here. And now exhale. Excuse me, right up into your standing cat. Just starting to wake up the spine. Back down into your standing cow. And up into your standing cat. One more time to your cow. And up into cat. Good. Leave your legs soft and just journey down your legs. Two hands on the floor. Walk back to downward dog. Good. Push your heels down. And now while we're here, just do some shoulder rolls. So shrug your shoulders, push with your hands up, back, all the way around. Good. And then settle in with your heart going toward the floor. Push your heels off the floor. Feel the arches of your feet stretch. Good. And see if you can pick up your hips just a little more. And then exhale and push your heels down. Again, up onto the balls of your feet. And push your heels down. Up onto the balls of your feet. Push your heels down. Good. And we'll come forward into plank. And we'll chaturanga to up dog. Making sure I don't lay on a cat. Good. Lift your heart. Push your feet into the floor. We're going to wake up our spine just a little more. Take your knees hip width apart. Sit back into your legs. Child's pose. And then come forward and let your hips drop again. Inhale as you transition. Exhale as you sit back. And come forward again. Inhale as you sit back. And exhale forward. Good. And this time, sit back and we're going to rest into that child's pose. Good. Clasp your hands on the floor. Put your forehead on the floor. And you're just going to roll your head into your hands. Push your shoulders down to your hips. You should feel a gentle stretch in the back of your neck. It's not forced. You're not driving forward. You're just letting that lean happen. Good. Sit back and we'll come up to our shins here. Good. Take a breath. You're going to take your right hand up. But before we do that, take your left hand behind you. You can assist if you want, just pull it over. Good. Now take that right arm up, reach across and grab the left side of your head. Good. Now I just want you to lean back very gently, very slightly into that arm that's on the small of your back. And then pull your head. So we're going toward our arms. So to the right. Breathe into that space you're creating between your left shoulder and your left ear. How many of you are like, oh, I was holding a lot of tension in my neck? Yeah, it happens. Good. Put your right arm down and then reach your right arm under or behind you. Left arm up, lean back into your back arm. Should feel that in your shoulder. And then we'll add that gentle reach over. Good. And release. And we're going to take our left knee forward. Sink into your hips. Good. Inhale. And sit back. Good. Just like someone's grabbing your hips and is pulling you backward. Good. Bring yourself forward, lifting into a lunge. Inhale. And then revolve. Both hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog. And bring your knees to the floor. Roll up to your shins. And inhale up with both hands. Turn to your right. So you're going to put your right hand on your heel or the back of your leg. Press your hips forward. What I don't want you to do is let your arm hang in space because we don't want the abs to really engage. We want to release them. So if I'm hanging, I have to squeeze, right? Soften your hips. Come back to heart center. Inhale up. And we'll push forward with the hips and turn the other way. Come back to heart center. And now we're going to take our right leg forward and press into that kneeling lunge. And now sit back. Good. Shift your body forward and lift your back leg. And exhale as you turn. Good. From there, bring your feet back into parallel. Hands go to the shins, the feet, the floor. Straighten your back. Pull your ribs off your hips. And now we're dropping the ribs past the hips. See if you can connect to your thighs. Straighten your legs. Exhale and fold. Hands come up to the knees. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. Take a breath, roll your shoulders, bring your hands behind you. Good. Push your knuckles to the floor. Lean as far as it's comfortable for you. And stand tall in our mountain pose. Good. Take a breath. And bring the hands into heart center. Set your right foot back, ball of the foot. Good. Now you're going to sit like there's a chair right here. Put all of your weight into your front leg. Sit into it. Good. Now listen, lift that leg up, cross it over, and sit into single leg chair. So find something to focus on. Good. We're going to do that again. Step back and lower. Good. Keep your head up. You should be able to look at the same spot the whole time. We go up, cross, and sink. Step back and lower. Up, cross, and sink. Step back and lower. Up, cross, and sink. Good. Now take your foot all the way back and we'll be in a high lunge. Sink that back leg. Take your palms to the floor, way out wide here. And we're just going to lift and squeeze our back leg, then drop back down. I might be going 3 inches. You might be going 1. You might be going 5. That's okay. Do what you need to do. So now I'm really squeezing this quad and my glute here, kind of focusing on this leg. Now, I know you feel it in the hip of the left leg too, but focus on the squeeze of that right leg. Good. Last time, sink down. Now spiral those arms and twist this high lunge. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Put your right hand on the floor. Now we're going to turn and step into a side plank. So step back. You're looking to your left. If you need to put your right leg down, you can. And we come to plank. Chaturanga to up dog. Tuck your feet. You're going to take your left leg up into three-leg dog. Good. Push that right heel down. Try to picture that straight line from your head up through your body to your foot. Good. On an inhale, step in with your left leg. Turn your right foot, and we'll spiral up into our warrior two. Now check your stance. Your heel of your front leg should be lined up with the instep, so your arch of your back leg. You'll notice my heel back here is the farthest thing away. So my foot is not just sideways. Now you might be that way because of flexibility, but if you can, try to pick up your heel and push your heel away. Good. And then we're going to let that hamstring drop toward the floor. Good. Pull your belly button in. Should have a little feeling of tucking the pelvis under. And straighten. Good. Now push that hip away. Dive over to triangle. Good. Reach your heart tall. Try to increase the space between your top ribs and your top hip. Good. Turn toward the top of your mat. Step halfway in with your right leg. Now, unlike the squat, the half squat we did before, where your heel was up, your heel is down in the back. Good. Now just lift a little bit and get your rib cage off your hip. Exhale down. Legs are straight. If you can't reach the floor, that is okay. Just don't put your hands on your knee. We're going to step in from here back to parallel. Bring your hands up to your knees and actually sink your hips and your spine, but lift your heart. And we'll be in our standing cow. Pull your shoulders out of your ears. Exhale up into your standing cat. And come back to neutral. Inhale as you push and lift into mountain pose. Take your hands behind your head. Good. Now, your elbows are going to come forward. Let your chin go down. I'm just using the weight of my arms to let my head drop. I'm not actually pulling on my head. Think about keeping your shoulders pushing down toward your hips. Good. Release. And we'll step halfway back, heel up with the left leg, coming back into our heart center with our hands. Weight is in your right leg. Sit your hips back. You're trying to get your hips past your heel. Push up. Cross. Sink. Come back, step back, and sink. Lift and cross, single leg chair. Halfway back, single leg squat. Up and twist, across, and single leg chair. Two more, step back and sink. And lift, cross. One more, step back and sink. Up, single leg chair, and step back. Good job. Now take that right leg all the way back into your high lunge. Heel is still up. Good. Don't be afraid to move your feet if you need to adjust. Arms go out and drop and lift. And we're focused on the squeezing of the back leg. So I'm not so much worried about this leg moving. Good. Take a breath up, sink low, and twist your lunge. Let's spiral open. Turn your back foot. I forgot our downward dog. Oh no. That's all right. Go to warrior two. Straighten your leg. Pull that right hip or left hip rather out. Find your triangle. Reach the spine tall. Go for length here. Your legs, your spine, your arms. Good. Turn toward the top of your mat. Step back to downward dog. Come to your plank. And chaturanga to up dog. Good. Now we'll lift your right leg into three-leg dog. Push your left heel down. Picture that straight line from your head up to your heel. Good. We'll step in with our right. And now just take your left foot halfway in. Heel is down this time. Lift your body just a little. Pull those rib cage. Exhale and fold again. If you can't reach the floor, just hold your shin. Just stay off of your knee. And see if you can drop your head. Look at the back of your mat. Step into parallel. Slide your hands up above your knees. Sink your hips. Lift your heart. Standing cow. Push the shoulders down. And up into your standing cat. Once you're there, take a big breath. Feel the expansion. Push through your feet. We're coming in the mountain pose. Take a breath up. And come to heart center. Good job. All right, take a breath. And we're just going to come up off of our heels. So you're on your toes. Pull your core in. Push your big toe to the floor. Now just take some time to assess your body. Are your shoulders over your hips? Or are you leaning forward? Let's try to get tall. You're squeezing your quads and your glutes and your core, not just pushing your feet down. And slowly lower that down. Good. Inhale. Hinge and fold. Good. Now we can reach for the floor. Push your hips high, heels low. Step halfway back with your right foot. Now with your left hand, reach behind your left foot. Grab your right foot. So left hand, right foot, push into the floor. And we're trying to get that knee to point to the ceiling. Slowly lower your knee. Now you're going to take your right foot all the way back and turn down the right side of your mat. Good. Nice straight back. Hands are under the heart. Get a little wider if you can. Take a breath. And we're going to exhale. Turn toward the top of your mat. Make a straight line between your hands. Good. Come back to the center. Inhale. And let's exhale the other way. Keep those legs straight. And come back down. And now exhale and fold. Reach through. You can put your head on the floor, whatever you want to do today. Get a little wider. Very nice. Bring yourself back up with your hands. Turn toward the top of your mat and let your left leg join your right leg. And we'll be in downward dog. Good. If you need to stretch through the heels, you want to pedal those legs, you can. And find your plank. Chaturanga up dog. Good. Now, we have to do our side plank on this side because that was a long time ago, but I didn't do it, right? We didn't. So come back to plank and just open up to your right. So right hand is up. Again, if you need to put a knee down, you can. Don't worry about what you did on the other side. This is its own side. Good, and come back down. Good. Let's lift our right leg into three-leg dog. I feel so much better, don't you? And we're going to take that left or right leg rather underneath us for pigeon. So you're crossing the midline of your body. That's the only thing we have in common. So flex your foot. You know, we might have to drop the hip to protect the knee, but you're going to flex this foot to protect the knee. If you can, you want to be up off of your hip so that your hips are parallel to the floor and your shoulders are parallel to the floor. Imagine that you've got a paper towel roll right underneath your hips and you're pushing down on it. So that back leg isn't dead. It's very active. It's pushing down. Now go with by what you feel. So if this gives you the stretch where you need it, down in the hip, stay here. If you want to get long, it's going to move up into the spine a little bit, then lower yourself. But it's not rounding your spine. So we want to stay very long. Like we're trying to flatten our back. And bring yourself up. Just take your right leg and bring it back to meet your left. And we'll be in tabletop here. Take a breath with your right arm up. And now we'll thread the needle. So you're pushing your right arm all the way through. Try to get your shoulder to the ground, but elbow is okay. And then you can keep your left hand in a push-up position or reach way up to the top right corner of your mat. Use your hand that's crossed under you. Push the back of the hand into the floor and find the twist here. You should feel that in the back of your shoulder as well as your lower back. Good. Bring your left hand back and then your right hand. Good. We're back to tabletop. Inhale up with your left. And now swim that. Take your shoulder to the floor. Elbows fine if you can't. Hand can stay in push-up or start reaching up. See if you can find the top left corner of your mat. Open up here. Push the back of the hand into the floor. Feel the twist in your rib cage. And bring your right hand back, then your left. Good job. Tuck your feet and go to downward dog. Good. And just take a walk to the top of your mat, trying to leave your fingers right where they were. Then once you get there, take a breath into standing extension and exhale and fold. Bend your knees, press through your feet and unhinge. Inhale and exhale. Take a breath. Hinge and fold. Step halfway back with your left leg. Right hand comes behind the right leg, and your right hand grabs your left foot. Take a breath, and now push your knee up. Good. Lower your knee, let go of your foot, step back with your left, and then we'll turn down the left side of our mat. Take your feet wider. Good. I'm just going to turn toward you so you don't have to look at my rear. Good. Hands are below your heart. And pivot toward, or not pivot, sorry, rotate top of the mat. So should be your right arm going up. And come back to center. And then the left. Come back down. Take a big breath. Take your feet wider, and you can reach through here with your hands. Or you can try to put your head on the floor, whatever's right for you. Good. We'll turn toward the top of our mat and go to downward dog. Good. Lift your left leg into three-leg dog. Bring it under you for pigeon. Now, this side might be totally different than the first side. If you need to drop to your hip, you can. But even if I'm on my hip, I'm still pushing my back hip forward, really trying to turn, because what we want to do is get parallel, right? Now, don't think about where you went on the other side. I want you to listen to your body on this side. Where do you need to be on this side? Do you need to stay up? Remember, if you do go lower, that you're getting long, not folding. Good. Bring yourself up, and you'll just take that left leg back to meet in tabletop. Good. So what I want you to do is take your knees wider, and then we're going to sit back in a wide child's pose. Good. Walk yourself up. Now I want you to put your knees closer together. They don't have to touch. And then sit back again. If you can get your forehead to the floor, let your arms come by your side. Feel how this changes your stretch. Good. Roll yourself up. From here, we're going to swing our legs around. Have a seat. Good. Extend your left leg. Grab hold of that right leg and lower yourself all the way down. Pull your knee towards your heart. Good. Now, with your left hand, grab your right toes and extend your leg. Now, it is okay if your leg can't get straight here. Glue your right shoulder to the floor. You're pulling your leg over to the left, but keep your right shoulder. See how mine went up? I want to reach and get that shoulder down. If it's uncomfortable to do that, turn your palm down and just let it come behind you. Good. Bring that back to the center. Give your leg a hug. Big both legs a hug. Good. And now extend your right leg out. Flex the foot. And we're pulling that left knee towards our heart. And now right hand gets the left foot. Glue your left shoulder down. And we're coming over to our right. Again, push that left shoulder down. Stay active in your bottom leg. It's not relaxed. Good. Release. Give both legs a hug. Good. Now open those arms again, but keep your knees over your hips. We're not pulling in. Good. We're just going to drop down. We don't touch the floor. Just inhale and exhale. As you exhale, we go to the other side. Feel your belly button. It's like your belly button on the exhale is pulling your knees back up. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale at the top. Both shoulders stay stable. Good. One more time. Each side. Now we're going to drop to the right and let the legs settle to the floor. Take a deep breath and then exhale. Look to your left. Come back up, and we'll drop the knees to the left. Take a deep breath, and then exhale. Look to your right. Come back to the center. Put your feet down. Good. Let your knees come together. Separate your feet. And just start here today for our rest pose. You, of course, can stay here or at any point drop into corpse pose. Hands can stay out or down, or you can even put your hands on your belly. Feel that rise and fall. Remember, you should feel that rise and fall below your belly button. Soften your jaw. Let your tongue fall back into your mouth. Let your eyelids get heavy. And feel the back of your neck melting toward the floor. Feel the heaviness in your arms and legs. Begin to feel your body in contact with the floor. When you're ready, roll to one side and then join me seated. Once you're seated, you're going to put your hands on the front of your knees. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Look up. Inhale. Now exhale through. Tuck your chin. Tuck your pelvis like you're going to put your pubic bone in your belly button. Round the spine. Exhale. Now inhale here. And exhale all the way back up. Drop the shoulders. Take a big breath. And exhale back. Lean into this. Take a breath here. And come back to neutral. And one big breath up. Hands come to heart center. God bless you guys. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye, everybody.